One of the biggest attractors for me to this frame was the similarity in geometry to the NV Fray. Both frames have the same stack to reach ratio of 1.5. That's why I decided on this frame simply came down to the geometry. I really liked the stack and reach numbers for this frame. With a stack of 570, a reach of 380 for a size medium. Those numbers were quite appealing to me. Just not having that professional level of flexibility. Being able to maintain the arrow position for longer is actually much faster than having something that's too uncomfortable to stay down in that arrow position for longer.
Almost up to 30 miles. First ride on the Carbonda CFR 1056. And I feel like I could ride this bike all day, honestly. Geometry is super comfortable, but I do feel like once you get up to speed, it holds its speed really well. It's not the most compliant frame out there, but overall I'm happy with how it rides. Carbonda CFR 1056, and it's awesome. It's really nice so far. I think I nailed the fit. Might end up losing a couple spacers. I would like to go pretty conservative. But yeah, bike feels really good. Coming from predominantly riding my gravel bike, even though this is pretty lax geometry in terms of road bike, it still feels nice and fast. So comfortable, yet can cruise pretty good. I'm happy with it. Gonna fill up my bottles here and keep on rolling. This is a very versatile bike. Not everyone has the budget for multiple bikes. Road bike, gravel bike, mountain bike. Sure, I'd love to have 3 or 4 bikes, but the reality for a lot of riders out there, including myself, is it's just not in the cards to have multiple bikes. So in my opinion, one of the best advantages of this frame is the ability to run all the way up to 38 millimeter tires. If you want it to be a light gravel bike, get on some off-road trails, some single track that's not too chunky and crazy, dirt roads, country roads, gravel. But if you want it to just be a fast road bike, sure, go ahead, throw on some 28, 30, 32s, and it's plenty fast on the road. And right now, I have the Michelin Pro 5 tires in 35 millimeters. And to me, these tires are a perfect all-rounder The 35 millimeter tires are super versatile. They feel plenty fast and they're comfortable on road or paved bike trails, rail trails. But even on something like this that I'm on right now, just a hard pack gravel trail, would you want to race a chunky gravel race? Absolutely not. That's not the intention with this kind of bike. But for your average rider out, on a tame trail, something like this would be more than capable. In terms of gearing, right now I'm running a 48 tooth stone chain ring from AliExpress. It works flawlessly. And then the SRAM Apex Explore cassette, which is a 11 to 44, and this is actually the Shimano HG Free Hub version of the SRAM cassette. So all in all, really happy with this frame. The thing I really can't get over is just how fast the shipping was from Carbonda. Faster than anything else I've ever ordered from China, I'm pretty sure, including from AliExpress. And communication was really good with my contact at Carbonda. Her name is Katie. I will put her contact information down in the description if you're interested in talking to them about ordering a frame. She was very responsive, communicated very well. Before I went ahead and ordered my frame, I had a ton of questions for Katie, and she was very nice and patient with me, answering all of my questions, making sure we were both on the same page of what I wanted in this frame. There is two versions of this frame. There's one with a semi-internal cable routing option, which is cheaper, I believe. And then there's this one that I got, which is the fully internal cable routing, which is just a little bit more. The bike does ship with cable guides, so routing that rear caliper and getting the brake hose up through the headset was actually no problem. It was super easy for me. All right, I'm gonna continue my ride, and if I think of any other good talking points that you should know about, I'll check in. So, we're back at home. At this point, I've logged about 100 miles on the new Carbonda frame. Have gone on 2 or 3 rides, and all around, I'm very happy with the bike, with the frame. I think it's an excellent value for the cost. I believe the full retail with shipping included is about $900, and even less if you go for the option with the semi-internal cable routing. So yeah, I mean, my first 100 miles or so on the frame, and I can't really think of too many complaints with it, other than it's not the lightest out there. These days I would say sub 1,000 gram frames are competitive. This frame came out about 1,165 grams, but that was with derailleur hangers, bottle cage, bolts, all of the hardware. So if I stripped all the hardware off the frame, it would be a bit closer to that 1,000 grams. But for the price, I think about 1,100 grams is pretty respectable. This isn't really aiming to be a super light climbing bike. It's more of an all-road bike. This is something that I plan to use on pavement and on dirt roads and gravel. I did show that in the video, how it's more than capable of going off-road.
I run 35 millimeter tires, and no, that's not a modern gravel tire, but it's more than capable on some light dirt road trails. And also feels plenty fast on pavement. It's not perfect for climbing, but I don't do a ton of climbing in my day-to-day riding. More flat terrain and the occasional hill. I'll sacrifice some extra weight on the bike to have a more comfortable ride any day. So overall, would I recommend this bike? Yes, absolutely. I think there's a lot of options nowadays for Chinese frames. They are getting more and more expensive, especially if you compare this to something like a Quick Pro. You're talking $2,000 for a frame, a few $100s for an integrated bar on top of that. Carbonda frames, if you're not familiar, come out of the same factory as Quick Pro frames. They are less than half the price as a Quick Pro frame. Compared to something like a Tan/Serif frame. From everything that I've seen online, I do think that they are better quality frames. If you look at resources such as the Chinatown forum, which you can get a lot of good information, this particular frame has, I want to say, about 100 pages of forum posts to look through, and there's really not a ton of bad experiences with this frame. Me personally, my bottom bracket threads were nice. My brake caliper mounts were nice. I had no issues getting the frame built up. Everything was really smooth with no headaches, which was great. And that's not something you get with every single Chinese frame. There are pretty commonly some issues along the way. As the famous Patrick Leno likes to say, it's kind of sweat equity, where you're buying a cheap frame, going into it knowing it's going to need some extra work. I didn't have that experience with the Carbonda frame, which I was really happy about. So if you made it this far into the video, I would really appreciate if you like and subscribe to the channel. I do have plans for more videos coming up. I've got some products that I'd like to share my thoughts and opinions on. Obviously this channel is small, which means nobody is giving me anything for free. So all of the thoughts and opinions on this channel are going to be not paid for, not sponsored, just your average rider's opinion, which I think is pretty valuable in a world of paid sponsored reviews. Yeah, stay tuned to the channel. Please subscribe if you are interested in seeing more content like this. I've got some plans for some more videos coming up, especially as the weather here in Connecticut gets nicer. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions about the Carbonda frame or any of the other components on the bike, then leave a comment down below. I'd be happy to help out. Like I mentioned before, I'll also leave down in the description the contact information for Katie at Carbonda, and if you're interested in the frame, I would highly recommend shooting her an email and just ask any questions you might have. She was really helpful, so that's a good resource. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.